Hello everyone, this is USHAKOVA. It is Friday, June 5th. Astrologers talk about this day, the full moon, as the rose moon, sometimes called the strawberry full moon or full strawberry moon. Anyway, I prefer the rose moon. I love roses. And it's an eclipse, a solar eclipse, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but for those of you who are much more knowledgeable about astrology than I am, though I love learning about it. And my understanding from astrologers about eclipses is this, that an eclipse, well, something is eclipsed, something is let go of, in other words, and to allow something else to come in. And I've been thinking about this today in light of all the major events that all of us have been witnessing or experiencing for most of 2020 now, beginning with the scare of COVID-19 and global effect of this pandemic, and followed on the heels of that, and we're not even through it, not by far, in the United States, with just a horrible event that we witnessed, the death of a man. We watched him die right before our eyes on television, all of us, and I don't want to talk about that specifically right now, and the news has covered it all and is continuing to cover it all detail by detail. What I want to talk about today is on this eclipse that's happening today, this full moon, the rose moon, which is lovely and hopeful in my eyes. What is it that we want to let go of to be eclipsed so that the new, the fresh, the new door can be opened and we can all walk through it together once and for all? And I was thinking today that in order to really create the lives we want to create for ourselves through all of these difficulties that we're experiencing right now in these months, in this first and second quarter of the new year, before we can be creative, before we can dream, before we can think about ourselves and what we want out of life in the new normal, quote unquote, we need to give thought to us. Instead of thinking about I, let's give thought to us. I'm in relationship with you. Speaking for me personally, here I am. I'm talking to you, to my subscribers, to anyone who comes to my channel, who hopefully will subscribe before the end of this video, if you've not been here before, and strike the little notification bell, so that you can be notified via email about all of my videos whenever I post. But so that's a segue, but it's just to say, come back. I hope you do. But it is not about I when I come here to film a video, to talk to you. It is about us. I happen to have certain skills and experience and high level of professionalism when it comes to transformational life coaching and working with individuals, couples, groups for years. I'm educated in this. I'm trained in conflict resolution. I'm trained in cross-cultural communications. I'm trained in deep listening. I'm trained in so many different areas that are so important right now for us to learn and to understand how meaningful and important it is when we're talking about us. So the events, the most recent events of this devastating death in the United States, and the story of Black Americans, and probably the story of Black people in the diaspora everywhere in the world, to one extent or another, is that we can change what's not fair. We can do this, all of us together. We can make the changes, but we have to have the love in our hearts, and truly the love in our hearts. We have to find the seed of compassion in that big heart of ours and listen. You know, the things we have to do in order to be relational and in relationship with each other, we have to learn how to listen, but really listen, not listen and then waiting to jump in and give our point of view, but listen. Sometimes we're just asked to be a witness to someone else's pain, to someone else's story. I listen to it all the time with my clients. I listen and I ask questions. I ask when I want to know more, if I haven't understood. And I ask so that I can go deeper into it, so that I can be helpful, so that I can help guide someone or resolve a problem, or just be a witness to someone's pain with no resolution in that moment. And certain words have come to mind to me today, and I want to share them with you, and I want us all to really pay attention to these words and begin living them, begin practicing. Look them up if you're not sure what they mean. We think we know what they mean, but maybe we don't really know what they mean. So asking, listening, and I like to call it listening with the ears of my heart. So instead of just my head, I bring my heart into it. I really want to know how you must feel. So that's empathy, putting yourself in the shoes of the other. Empathy is huge. It's huge. It's everything. It's trying to understand what that pain must feel like for my brother, for my sister, for my fellow man, I may not agree, I may not understand, I may have my point of view and questions and feelings as well, of course, but I need to know how to listen. I need to have compassion, so that even if I don't agree, I have to have compassion for the other man's journey and plight as we walk this earth together. And I have to practice kindness if it doesn't come easily to me, right? I mean, it does happen to come easily to me. I hope it does to you as well. But if it doesn't, practice it. Everything takes practice. Nothing happens in a moment. Sometimes we are illuminated. The light strikes us, and in a moment we shift and have an internal pivot so powerful that we never go backwards. And maybe that's the whole point of an eclipse and the power of an eclipse, when there's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse that happens astrologically throughout the year at different times. Apparently we're having 3 eclipses, which is very unusual. One today, one on the 20th of June, I believe, and one again in July, early July. Astrologers say this is unusual. And I thought about that today, and I thought, so are the events of the last 3-4 months unusual. It's all been unusual. But the eclipses are here to help us shed what no longer serves us as a community, as a global community, as a member of a community that we live in. Not only our own small community, wherever that might be in the world, but the global community. All of us. You know, who are we to judge another, to be brutal to another, to take away another's life when he's pleading for mercy, because that's what we witnessed on television, a man pleading for mercy. How dare we not give another man mercy? How dare we withhold it? So today's video is about thinking about us. Please think about us this weekend. I will be back next Friday with another video, and I will come back to talking about I as well. What can I do about living, learning, loving, working, all these marvelous topics that I have been thinking about since last week, my first video on this subject about looking forward into 2020 and dividing it up into segments. But today I just had to stop and breathe. And breath is precious, we now know. If we didn't know before how precious breath is life. I had to stop and breathe and take in what I've been observing and what I've been feeling. And I decided today to speak to you about us. Let's begin thinking about one another. Stop judging. I am not you, you're not me, and yet we are one. We're one in humanity, we're one in spirit. Thank you for being here with me today. It's a somber day for me. It's a sober day in that sense, sobering thoughts. And I'm coming to you from my heart as I always do. Let's take this journey together. I invited you on this journey with me, and I'm on it with you from the first video in early April. I'm going to be talking about all kinds of subjects already. If you go to my playlist, you'll see, listen to my videos, watch them, put them on in your car. You don't have to see me, you can just hear me. I send my love. I hope for love for all of us. I hold all of you in my heart. I'm grateful that you're here. Help me grow this community, because this is going to be a place, it already is, an intimate space to really learn how to listen. And we'll find out together what's really important as we walk through this path on life for however long we're lucky enough to be here, for goodness sakes. With that said, I wish you a marvelous weekend. I wish you love. Be kind. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'm back next Friday with another video. I may surprise you and come back before then, but for sure next Friday. And let's move into 2020 in a different way than we've moved into every other year, when we've maybe thought mostly about ourselves, if that's what we've done or been doing. Let's eclipse that out of our lives and bring in the sun. Beautiful weekend, lots of love. I send you a kiss to you.